Hi, and welcome to At Your Convenience. I'm Rachel Gignac, and I'm here with Scott Hartman, President and CEO of Rutters. We're here at Outlook Leadership Conference in California, and I'm just chatting with him today about his amazing recognition as Retail Leader of the Year for 2025. So, hi, Scott. Congrats, and how are you?
I'm riding so high on the honor to be the retail leader. I've watched so many of my good friends up on stage being honored through the years, and now I guess I'm old enough to finally qualify. So I'll take that getting older part as a compliment this time. But I don't like getting older, but it really is such an honor. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. And you've been in the industry a long time. How long?
I have. I started at the age of 12. I literally did. And they used to pay me 5 cents an hour for every year old I was. And now that I'm old, they got rid of that compensation program. So I can't make all that money now.
What a bummer.
So, yeah, I've been in 54 years I started, yeah.
Yeah, so let's just talk a little bit more about your background, and with it being a family business as well. So I know you worked at Price Waterhouse for, I think, 7 years?
7 years, yes.
And after you earned your master's degree.
Yes.
And so when your father passed down the business to you, was it something that it was expected to you? Was it more of an option? How did that go?
Okay, sure. So we're a multifamily business, so it wasn't just my father. It was his generation. And so I'm actually 10th generation of the family farm, and so there's been a little bit of experience there, I guess, handing things down through the years, and a couple of them, I think, said, don't F it up. Or maybe they didn't use the F word, but they kind of meant it that way. And, you take it seriously because, since our farm goes back to 1747, they said never sell the farm and don't sell the business. So, you got to go make it a success or be the one that they all talk about.
Yeah. And how did your son Chris fall into that same role of now being a part of the business?
Well, he kind of fell right into my footsteps. I cut him a break. I didn't start him working in stores until he was 13, so I gave him a big break. And he did a lot of the same things that I did. He would open stores and he would go down the steps at 3 a.m. and make a lot of noise because he wanted to remind me he really didn't like, opening a store at 3 a.m. But then later he wrote that on his college application. So I know he was like me. You learn these things that once you do it, it really teaches you a lot. So he's doing great. He really is. And he's now doing all the jobs and has all the titles that I don't want.
And what was that like for you working at Rutters since the age of 12? Did you enjoy it? What was it like growing up with the company?
I did enjoy it. I guess, in the convenience store side is where I spent most of my time. My father gave me some exposure to our ice cream company that we had, and I worked in the ice cream freezer for about 2 months. And I realized working in minus 40-degree wind chill was not where I wanted to spend my career. So maybe he was doing that as a way to teach me where to work hard and pick your jobs that you want to do. So, I worked in all the different – I tell everybody I've done just about every job you can do in a convenience store, and that's proven to work out really well for me.
Yeah, well, what a great way to learn how to become a great leader for all of your employees when you've been in their shoes.
Well, that is part of it, and I feel very comfortable if somebody tells me you don't understand. I tell them I think I do, and let's talk about it. But I also tell everybody on my team I don't like going into the weeds. It makes me itchy, but I'll go into the weeds because I like to think I've been there and I can help them. And so the ability to help people through problem solving is really important.
Mm-hmm. So how do you stay in the know about all levels of employees at Rutters?
Well, it probably goes way back to my Price Waterhouse experience. I had to go in and learn and ask about what people do all the time because I was a consultant. And I also traveled all the time, and I still travel a lot, but I was taught how to kind of use those skills that you don't have to be there, but you can stay in touch with people, communicate with people, and understand, and have them know they can reach out to you. So that was invaluable to me, and I still do it today. Everybody knows they can call me, they can reach me, and sometimes I call them and just say, hey, what's going on?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. And since you've been with the company, how has Rutter's and employees' day-to-day work life, how has that changed since you've been with the company?
Well, the work life, we weren't 24 hours when my dad started opening stores, and we didn't even have fuel because we weren't allowed to sell self-serve fuel in Pennsylvania at the time in the late 60s. And so the work life then going to 24 hours, and then my role when I came back, I had to do some of the hard things, which was tell folks we're going to be open on all the holidays, which was difficult, but it was a reality of the business. So being open 365 days a year, 24 hours, that changes the dynamic, but I learned to do that a long time ago. Again, in Price Waterhouse, I was always on call. So, and it's funny when you talk to folks about it, most adapt and are okay with it. And that was, I don't know, 20 some years ago when we had to do that.
Yeah. And what's your favorite part about working at Rutter's?
The people and the faces. I have so many good long-term people, and the new people that we get, I talk to them, and when I see somebody happy, smiling, we can joke, we can laugh, I can kid them about their football team or their sports teams. And I think that's part of what I hear from them is they like in a family business is that the owners are around and they can see them, they can talk to them, and when they come into my office, it's not all just, business. It's, hey, how you doing? How's the family? How are things going? So, and that's the part that I really like in where I am in my stage of my career is that I have a little bit more time to do more of that.
Yeah.
And hear from them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, getting to know them must be really important.
It is, and we all have very busy lives, but taking a little slice out to talk to folks and trying to understand them. And if they have issues, I can't always solve them for them, but I try.
Yeah, something that I've learned from other people in this industry is that when you get to know your employees, they trust you more and they do a better job they do their job better.
They do, and I will say that's a learning experience for a CEO too. When I was younger, I was so busy, I probably didn't take as much time. But if you don't learn as you get older, shame on you. So this is where I'm saying, hey, I watched, I learned, and now I want to spend more time, talk to more people, and have more fun.
Yeah, that's a great lesson. What about, what's the toughest part, in your opinion, of your position?
It's probably also the 365. Mm-hmm. And I'm a very engaged person, and all the technology tools actually just pull you in deeper and deeper. So one of the toughest parts for me is to just actually take a day or two and step back and spend time with my wife, my family, and not be looking at email, not be getting texts, not doing that stuff. Because, again, I want to be engaged with my team, but also have to practice personal health, personal well-being, and I'm working at that now.
Yeah, and you have 2 new grandsons in the mix.
Oh, yeah.
Chris has had some twin boys recently.
He has. We got Sammy and Benny, and they're the 2 that can get whatever they want, And anybody else can ask, and I can say no, but I have a feeling if they ask, it'll be yes.
Yeah, that's great. How would you describe your leadership style?
Probably still evolving.
Okay.
I'm a person who wants to learn, and I use all kinds of stories and short little things to explain what I'm thinking and how I'm viewing things. I'm a problem solver, so I tell people, what I'm thinking all the time, sometimes maybe to a degree that they maybe don't want to spend that time, but I try to explain to people what I'm thinking, what the problem is, how we might be able to solve it, And so I'm a person that's constantly learning how to solve problems faster and quicker, and taking the time with people to explain to them. And I find that really helps get everybody on board, and evolving as a person, as a manager. It's important that you never stop learning. I have this philosophy that when I stop learning, I'll be retired the next day.
I love that. Have you had any mentors to help you learn and grow along the way?
I have. So many of the NAC's board chairs, because I was a chairman a long time ago, and that was such a wonderful experience when I was younger. I think I was the youngest NAC's chairman at the time. So I was able to get involved with NACS and sit at the table with some of the very best CEOs at the time in the industry, and listen to them engage and talk about industry issues and how they would solve it. Listen to them maybe have a good professional argument. And so being around them. And so I also, Carl Bolsch was a person that from the time I met him, a lot of people may have been intimidated by him, but he and I hit it off. I was never intimidated by him. And maybe that's because we both went to Duke and we had something in common from the beginning. And, Carl knew so much, and he, just watching him and learning from people like that, how they build their business and how they could deal with the challenges, and what a successful person he's been.
Yeah. And what company was or is Carl with?
Racetrack.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Yeah, and Carl is still around, and his family's still running their family business. And so, that's the sort of thing, a family business, trying to learn from the people who can keep it going.
Yeah.
Because it's always, for folks in this industry, the easiest thing you can do is sell.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and I don't want to do that.
Yeah. Yep. And how do you mentor others?
Probably because I try to teach them. I tell my team that in my stage right now, I really prefer they view me as coach, rather than the CEO or the boss. I don't really like people viewing me as the boss. And I learned from Coach K, who was the Duke coach a long time ago, a lot of things that he did and how he would talk to a team. And I try to talk to a team the same way, that, hey, if I'm telling you you're doing something wrong, it's not to criticize you, it's to make you better. And that's what coaches should do, is try to improve a team. And they can tell you, a coach can get in the face of somebody and say, hey, you're not doing this right, you should do it differently. But if they do it in the right way and try to train them and show them, then they're going to have a much better team. And I tell everybody, we're a team. We win together, and we go for championships.
Yep. Yeah, not us against them. It's everyone together.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What would you say your greatest professional achievement is to date, and why would you say so?
My greatest professional achievement, probably the getting to be the next chairman.
Yeah.
And that was such an eye-opening experience. It gave me a chance to travel the world, gave me an opportunity to, again, begin building a network around the world. And still today, I have friends in countries all over. And a lot of the things that I'd learned from that, we were able to bring back into our business. And so it opened doors for me by making the commitment to the industry, and being able to sit and learn from others, and then being able to try to apply it. All that goes together to ultimately having, a super great team. And, you learn those things one step at a time. There's no way to cheat in these things. You got to spend your time and learn.
Yeah. What do you want Rutter's legacy to be?
Great question. I don't really think of legacy a lot, but, it's a family business, and I value my family so much. And whether, I've got one child in the business and one that's not, but the one that's not, she's, I call her my sweet pea. She's great. She's a public school teacher, and she loves Rutters just as much as all of us do. And so it's the family thing, and I don't know how to say it other than, you either love a family business or you don't.
Yeah.
And those family businesses do come with challenges. Anybody who thinks they're easy, they're not. But finding your way through the dynamics of a family business to being able to find success for your family and being able to build it for all the family members is something that's very, very special opportunity. So I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying watching it continue to grow and make a difference.
Yeah, and as it continues to grow in the next 5 years, what do you hope to see? What areas of growth do you hope to see in Rutters?
Well, I'm a person that never likes to stay in the status quo. And I train my folks that the worst answer they can give to me, and most everybody in my office knows it. Now, I'll ask them sometimes just to have fun with them. I say, what's the worst answer you can give me when I ask a question? They'll say, that's the way we always did it. And so we're a constant company in change, and I want everybody to embrace change. So for us, we're always out there seeking the next opportunity to make our stores different and stand out. And so we were very early in food service and food service success. When we were legally allowed to finally sell beer and wine, we went for the biggest beer coolers and the 29-degree beer coolers. And now we're into gaming, and the gaming and gambling is a place that, I always saw as an opportunity for industry because we sell so many lottery tickets and our customers like to gamble.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of extensions in that, and now we're very much into the gaming business with VGTs. And now we just opened our first gaming room, which has a bar in it. It has games, has 20 65-inch TVs, and it's really like a mini sports bar inside a convenience store, and nobody else has it. And that's where we can have fun because we're breaking new ground, and my team really likes to do that. That's, when you look in their DNA, we hire people. I want people that like to break ground.
Yeah. The gaming lounges are very interesting, and like you said, a first in the industry. How do you come up with these innovative ideas?
Well, I'm always, like I say, I'm studying, I'm looking. The gaming idea started with a little seed probably 15 years ago when I was in England, and I saw a gaming room in a Tesco in a highway store. And it was just a gaming room, and they had a person manning it, and it really wasn't integrated in any way. But when I saw it, I was fascinating because I see Las Vegas, and I now have a residence in Las Vegas as well, and I don't gamble myself, but I love studying it, and I also know there's money to be made there. And so that just was a seed that got planted, and then we have great food service, so our food service fits right into a bar, and the gaming fits right into a bar. And when you look across our customer base, our customers all love to gamble. They like alcohol options, and they love food options and entertainment. So when we could put that all together, it really is a unique place for people to go. And in small towns, where do you go do that other than at Rutter's?
Yeah, it's an intersection of a lot of things. It is. It makes a lot of sense.
It is, and it's one of those that we're just at the front end as we're learning all the different technologies and things. So, we got a lot of top secret things going, but I really think when you start seeing us go into full bore play, we just did our first UFC Monster Fight Night, and that's our customer.
Yeah.
UFC Fight Nights, and so we had Monster. So it's a way to integrate our supplier community into a new concept too, and Monster jumped all over it, and we're going to get a lot more suppliers involved because it's a new way to reach customers in a place that they're not normally in a C-store. In a C-store, they're in and out in 3 minutes, and our gaming rooms, we want them to be in there for 3 to 7 hours.
Yeah. So with a lot of these innovations, technology, as you said, is prominent. It's key. Mm-hmm. And I know you're a technology leader. How do you integrate tech into the C-store business?
With a lot of work.
Yeah.
When I worked at Price Waterhouse, I was just perfectly in the timing of when tech was just starting to come out. I learned to program on mainframes, and by the time I was at Pricewaterhouse, I was carrying around what was supposedly a laptop. So I had the opportunity to learn technology as it was evolving and as it was going from only big business, big government, into touching consumers. And so I love tech. And then when I was chairman, I got an opportunity to do a technology tour in Asia. And when I did that, I got to see what in Asia they were developing, and they took us inside places like Samsung. And I don't think they would ever do that today, but we got to see all of their new technology that was not in market. And that allowed me to see a cell phone before there really were cell phones in the U.S. And I was able to then take what I was seeing and try to learn about it and say, how is that going to impact our business? And so even when I was next chairman, I predicted that there would be cell phones, they would be our connectivity to our cars, they would be our billboards, that they would actually even tell you what the gas prices would be and lead you to things that you wanted to buy, and that was before there was an Apple iPhone.
Wow, so that's incredible. You predicted the future.
Well, I had help doing it, but it's great because it's actually on videotape.
Well, if you did it then, can you do it now? What's in the future of technology? Convenience.
It's just going to keep being more ingrained into the consumers to the point that even now you really don't know who's tracking you and really what's going on, and it's just going to be so you're going to be so unused to being able to see it. You're not even really going to see it as it's in action. But I'm really looking forward to truly frictionless selling in our stores, where people can come in and they don't have to present a credit card. They don't have to do anything. And that'll all be because we know who they are.
Yeah.
And we know it through technology. And they can buy things. And it's just going to speed up everything in those stores, because right now it's not frictionless. There's a lot of great concepts out there. It's not frictionless, and it's also not inexpensive. So as it becomes more viable for us to do that, I think it'll make what we pride ourselves on at Rutters is we call it convenience at the speed of life. And that's one of the slogans we have, and that's what I think technology would do for us, provide all kinds of new things at the speed, and our industry is the best at that.
Yeah. How is Rutters working toward that goal?
Well, they have both me there to help provide some guidance, and my son and our team. Yeah, I do yield to my son on a lot of this stuff today, because I'm also not so naive to think that a person at my age is accustomed to all of the tech. I mean, they're out there getting deeper and deeper as I'm sort of maybe at times withdrawing, or not withdrawing, but just not willing to go use some of the tools they do. So I have a team that is there and learning all the time. And, again, with our idea of change, it fits very well.
Yeah, great. And just more overall, why is work in the convenience store and fuel industry fulfilling and meaningful to you?
Well, you know what? I suspect that during COVID, it solidified what I always thought, and they came out right away and said that we were critical infrastructure, that America could not operate without us as convenience store operators. So that defined how important the roles that we have in our industry truly are.
Yeah.
I mean, you can go get a Saturday Night Live skit that's going to make fun of convenience store people, but guess what? We saved America by having fuel, food, and all the things that they needed during the biggest crisis in my lifetime. And so that reaffirmed how important what we do for our customers and American public. You can never put down a convenience store person.
Yeah, that's a great perspective. So now I want to transition to some more personal, fun questions.
Sure.
So to start off, I know you travel a lot with your wife, and I know you've traveled with Chris and Sarah. Mm-hmm. So do you have a favorite vacation memory?
Oh, a whole lot of vacation memories. I think one that was a last minute was we went to Scandinavia during the SARS crisis, which was like a test almost for the last epidemic. And so when the SARS crisis came out, we were going to go to Canada and go down the West Coast. And I said to my wife, coming back from a flight, I said, I was thinking we should go somewhere where there aren't many people and we don't have to worry about the children. We don't have to worry about anybody getting sick. And I said, let's go to Scandinavia. And we spent 3 weeks in Scandinavia driving around with the family. And that was just so special because, you didn't have cell phones back then, and you could just have quality time with the children. And we explored places, and our children all know that I'm kind of nuts when we do these trips because, I don't know, maybe I'm a little bit like Chevy Chase Vacation or something like that. But I've been known for almost driving down palace steps and stuff like that. But that's what we do, and that's how we have so many memories. And we would drive down roads that were one-lane roads with a truck coming the other way, and they'd scream, then we'd laugh, and we survived.
Yep. Well, that's what makes the best memories.
It is. And, the children would sing songs and do whatever, and, those would drive me crazy. But, at the time, but now you look back, and it's all about having that quality time and not allowing yourself to get distracted.
Yeah. Outside of work, what else do you like to do?
I'm a golfer.
Yep.
That's probably my biggest passion. My son and I set a golf world record, and I never thought we'd be able to achieve it, but it started now, I guess, almost 21 years ago. And we had a neighbor that had played one of the world top 100 golf lists, and he told my son, if your dad will pay, you go play. And guess what? He remembered that.
Yep.
And so we just started playing. We went to Pinehurst number 2 and played there. And then we just started building a list. And, we were in the 20, 30 clubs that we played. And then it just kept going from there. And I was never a golfer as a child. I was a tennis player.
Oh,
yeah. But golf is a sport that teaches you so many things. And it was really great for him. And all the quality time we had together. And then it turned into a family thing as well because my wife is not a golfer, but she shoots under par in a spa.
Okay.
And she likes to shop too when we're golfing, and my daughter likes to tour and do things, so we would take them on trips to Scotland, and my daughter at one time wanted to move to Scotland. She liked it so much, but that's how you take your passion and you enjoy it with your family, and I would never regret taking my time away from the business for what I did going on these tours and doing it. And now we have world bragging rights. We're the only 2 people to have ever done that, and the only father-son in the world to have played a list, and we played 3.
Wow, that's incredible and very impressive. What are some of those things that golf teaches you?
Well, for me, it teaches you that it's you against yourself. And so your competitive passion, and I do have a lot of competitive passion, and that's what everybody in my company knows. We are competitive people. And yet, when you play against yourself, if you don't apply it right, you're just going to beat yourself up. So you apply it in the right way to try to improve, try to learn, try to show good manners. And golf is a lot about manners, too. And it was great for my son to get to meet people, to go to clubs, get opportunities to learn all the various skills of both being an adult and being a mature adult. And then you learn the rules, and you don't cheat, you follow the rules. And so golf is one of those that we now I tell folks that I'm only like 2 people away from knowing somebody who knows somebody at the top golf club in the world.
Yeah, that's great. What's the favorite memory that you've had while golfing with Chris?
Oh gosh, well we've golfed with suppliers as well, as we would do various trips, and they all have memories, and we've done our own podcast that has a lot of our memories there. But I think Chris and I both say the opportunity to play Augusta together, and he was a freshman in college, and when he went to Augusta, I think all of the other people that were there, and there weren't that many, maybe 40 at most, and they're looking and wondering what a college kid is doing there when they waited their entire careers to get an opportunity to go there.
Right.
And he went there, and we stayed overnight. We had the best experience. We played in 3 hours and 15 minutes. And so just the memory of being there inside the ropes a month before the tournament, can't beat it, you know. And the member showed us every little nook and cranny around the place. He's unfortunately no longer alive, but he was fantastic, the stories we got. So, yeah, that's really kind of when we tell people that's the top experience, but there's so many others that are right there with it.
What an amazing experience.
Yeah, and you know, we've played in weather that nobody else would play in. We went out in New Zealand and played in a storm that there was nobody else out there. They didn't even have caddies. My glasses blew off my face twice.
No way.
We came in up 18. It was raining so hard. There was like a little stream going right through the green. And what were we doing? We were laughing.
Yeah.
Because we were going, how crazy is this? But we've accomplished a goal of playing that course, which was a top 100 course, and nobody else could say they probably had that experience.
How special of a memory. I love that. All right. What's your favorite C-store snack?
Ooh, well, I eat a lot of C-stores. Well, you know, I grew up in what they call the snack capital of the world, which is York, Pennsylvania, which is near Hanover. That whole area is known for all kinds of salty snacks. And so when it comes down to it, I have a battle in the evenings between potato chips and pretzels.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a salty guy, and I'm a sweet and salty guy. If I eat something sweet, I got to have a salty snack.
Got it. Okay. And lastly, do you remember where you were when you were told you'd be the 2025 Retailer of the Year and how you felt?
To be honest, I was like stunned. I really was. Came out of the blue. And where was I? I was in a daze. I truly was in a daze because, you know, like I said, I've watched so many people receive that award, and I've sat at so many of the dinners, and those were friends of mine, and so I've been honored in a lot of different ways through the years. I'm very, very fortunate, you know, to be in halls of fames and stuff. But this is one that, you know, I didn't see it coming, but I'll remember it for the rest of my life. Trust me, and so will my family.
Well, it's very well deserved. Congratulations again.
Thank you.
And it was great to have you and chat.
I love this. You want to keep talking?
I will, yeah. Okay. All right, catch you
Thank you, Rachel.
after this, and we'll keep talking.
All right, sounds good. We're at the bar, which is where I see most of my friends.
Perfect. Okay. All right, thanks, Scott.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you.
And thanks for listening to At Your Convenience. I'm Rachel Gignac. Please like and subscribe, and have a great day.
Oh, you're easy.